What if the reason you feel drained, distracted, and oddly stressed at your desk every single day has nothing to do with your workload and everything to do with what is sitting on your desk? Or more accurately, what is not sitting on it? Studies show that having even one living plant within eye line of your workspace reduces stress, improves focus, and increases productivity measurably. Not marginally, measurably. And yet, most office desks are bare surfaces of plastic, paper, and screen glare because people assume plants need space, need sunlight, need attention they cannot give during a busy workday. Today, I am changing that assumption completely. Here are 15 plants that thrive on neglect, fit in the smallest spaces, and will quietly transform the way you feel at your desk every single day. Let us get into it. Plant 1. Snake plant. The night shift air cleaner. Snake plant, Sansevieria trifascata, is the desk plant that works hardest while you are doing nothing. Most plants photosynthesize during daylight hours and rest at night. Snake plant uses a different metabolic process, called CAM, photosynthesis, that allows it to release oxygen after dark. Put one on your desk, and it is actively improving your air quality through your entire working day and continuing through the night shift while the office sits empty. NASA's Clean Air study ranked it among the top performers for removing formaldehyde, benzene, and xylene from indoor air, the invisible chemical compounds off-gassing from furniture, carpeting, and office equipment in virtually every workplace. The upright architectural form of snake plant takes almost no desk footprint. A small pot 4 to 6 inches in diameter sits comfortably in any corner of any desk and asks almost nothing in return. Water it once every 2 to 3 weeks. Put it in any light from bright to near dark. It will outlive most of the other objects on your desk by a decade. Plant 2. Boston fern. The humidity maker. Your desk air needs. Office air is dry. Heating systems, air conditioning, and electronic equipment all reduce humidity to levels that cause dry eyes, dry skin, and the persistent low-grade discomfort that many office workers attribute to screen fatigue, when the real cause is the quality of the air around them. Boston fern, Nephrolepis exaltata, is one of the most effective natural humidifiers available in a desktop plant. A healthy Boston fern transpires moisture continuously through its fronds, raising the local humidity in its immediate vicinity in a way that is genuinely perceptible if you position it close to your working space. NASA's Clean Air research ranked Boston fern as the single most effective plant tested for removing formaldehyde from indoor air, making it simultaneously a humidifier and an air purifier of considerable capability in a pot small enough to sit on a desk corner. Boston fern does need consistent moisture and reasonable indirect light to stay lush and healthy. It punishes dry indoor heating by browning at the frond tips, which is its way of telling you the air is too dry. A pebble tray with water beneath the pot addresses both its watering needs and its humidity requirements simultaneously with minimal effort on your part. Plant 3. Jade plant. The low-maintenance living sculpture. Jade plant, Crassula ovata, is the desk plant that looks like it should be expensive and difficult to maintain, and turns out to be neither. The thick, fleshy, deep green oval leaves on woody branching stems create an appearance of a miniature tree of considerable character, a living sculpture that adds genuine visual interest to any desk without demanding anything beyond occasional watering in a reasonably bright position. Jade plant stores water in its thick leaves, which means it tolerates the neglect that a busy workday produces naturally. Miss a watering entirely, and it manages perfectly well on its reserves. Water thoroughly when the soil is completely dry and then leave it alone again. Overwatering is the only real threat to a jade plant, and overwatering requires active effort rather than neglect, making jade plant almost uniquely suited to the absent-minded office plant owner. It grows slowly, maintaining the same compact, attractive form for years, without outgrowing its pot or demanding repotting attention. Traditional feng shui associates jade plant with financial prosperity and places it near the entrance of homes and workplaces for this reason. Whether or not you subscribe to that tradition, having a plant on your desk that looks expensive requires almost nothing and has centuries of positive cultural association behind it seems like an entirely reasonable desk decoration choice. Plant 4. Peace lily, the elegant air purifier that tells you when it's thirsty. Peace lily, Spathiphyllum wallacei, solves the most common problem with office plants in the most elegant way possible. It tells you when it needs water. The leaves droop slightly when the plant is thirsty and recover completely within hours of being watered, removing the guesswork from plant care for even the most distracted desk worker. It is essentially a self-reporting plant that communicates its needs clearly and forgives the delays that busy work schedules create. Beyond its self-reporting watering system, Peace Lily is one of the most comprehensively air-purifying plants ever studied. NASA's research identified it as a top performer for removing benzene, formaldehyde, trichloroethylene, xylene, and ammonia from indoor air simultaneously. 5 distinct pollutants from a single plant in a pot small enough to fit beside your monitor. The elegant white spaz it produces when conditions are right add a refined, almost architectural beauty to any desk setting. It thrives in the low to medium light conditions that characterize most office environments, asking for nothing more than indirect light and the occasional drink of water when it tells you it needs one. A plant this communicative, this air-purifying, and this visually elegant is genuinely one of the best desk companions available. Plant 5. Oxalis. The plant with personality. Oxalis, particularly Oxalis triangularis with its deep purple triangular leaflets, is the desk plant that people react to most strongly when they see it for the first time because it does not look like a real plant. The geometric precision of those triangular purple leaves arranged in groups of 3 on delicate stems creates an appearance so perfectly structured that visitors to your desk will reach out and touch it to verify it is actually alive. It is, and it rewards the verification by being one of the most characterful small plants you can keep in any space. Like prayer plant, Oxalis is nyctinastic, folding its leaves closed in the evening and opening them again each morning in response to light changes. Watching it open as the office day begins and close as it ends is one of those small daily pleasures that make a desk feel less like a work surface and more like a place where something living happens alongside the spreadsheets and emails. It grows in small pots, tolerates indoor light conditions well, and produces delicate small flowers in pink, white, or yellow above the distinctive foliage. When it enters its natural dormancy period after flowering, cut it back, reduce watering, and wait. It will regrow from its underground corms with renewed vigor when its rest period ends. The most visually distinctive small plant on this list, Plant 6, Aloe vera. The first aid plant that earns its desk space. Aloe vera earns a unique justification for desk space that no other plant on this list can claim. It is functional first aid. The clear gel inside its thick succulent leaves has documented wound healing, burn soothing, and skin hydrating properties that have been validated in clinical research. A small aloe vera plant on your desk is simultaneously a living plant and a practical tool. Break a leaf when you have a minor paper cut, a dry skin moment, or the inevitable accidental brush against something hot from the office kitchen, and the gel inside provides immediate, effective relief. Beyond its practical applications, aloe vera is one of the most drought-tolerant plants in existence. Water it every 2 to 3 weeks, place it in the brightest spot your desk offers, and largely ignore it. The thick water-storing leaves manage extended periods between watering with complete ease. It grows slowly in the compact form that desktop planting requires and rarely demands repotting more than once every 2 to 3 years. The architectural form of a healthy aloe vera, those thick, upright pointed leaves arranged in a symmetrical rosette, adds a clean, geometric visual interest to any desk. It is a plant that looks intentional, looks designed, and happens to also be genuinely useful when you need it. Plant 7, Spider plant. The fastest growing desk companion. Spider plant, Chlorophytum comosum, is the desk plant that surprises people with its productivity. It grows visibly fast, produces cascading baby plants on long arching stems within months of being established, and absorbs carbon monoxide and formaldehyde so effectively that studies have shown a single spider plant can remove up to 95% of formaldehyde in a sealed chamber within 24 hours. Put that statistic next to the off-gassing furniture and carpeting of a typical office environment, and spider plant begins to look less like a desk decoration and more like essential equipment. The arching green and white striped leaves and cascading spiderettes that characterize a mature spider plant create a lively, dynamic visual presence on a desk, a plant that looks like it is doing something rather than simply sitting there. The baities that trail down from the mother plant can be pinched off and rooted in water, giving you new plants to share, to expand your own collection, or to place in other areas of your workspace. It tolerates low light, infrequent watering, and the inconsistent attention that a busy professional schedule produces. One of the most genuinely forgiving plants on this list, and one of the hardest working in terms of what it does for the quality of the air you breathe while you work. Plant 8. Kalanchoe, the flowering succulent that brightens any desk. Kalanchoe. Kalanchoe blossfeldiana is the desk plant for people who want color. While most plants on this list contribute greenery and air quality, Kalanchoe contributes weeks of cheerful, dense flower clusters in red, orange, yellow, pink, and white that bring a warmth and visual energy to a desk that purely foliage plants simply cannot provide. And it does this in a compact, low-maintenance succulent package that tolerates the bright light of a window desk or the supplemental grow light conditions of an interior office. The thick succulent leaves store water efficiently, making Kalanchoe tolerant of the mist watering that a hectic workday produces without the drama of wilting and apparent distress that more sensitive flowering plants express under the same conditions. After the initial flowering period ends, a period of reduced watering and bright light encourages reblooming within a few months. For desks near windows, for office environments that feel gray and uninspiring, and for anyone who finds that a pop of genuine color in their peripheral vision during working hours makes the day feel incrementally more pleasant. Kalanchoe delivers a flowering display from a plant, small enough to sit beside a keyboard without intruding on working space. Plant 9. Lucky Bamboo, the desk classic that never goes out of style. Lucky Bamboo, Dracaena sanderiana, has been appearing on office desks and in workplace entrances across Asia for centuries, and its transition into Western office culture has been so complete that it is now simply accepted as a natural part of what a well-appointed desk looks like. Those elegant, upright stalks, sometimes twisted into spirals, arranged in a small glass vessel with polished stones, is an image so widely recognized as representing a calm, considered workspace that it has become almost archetypal. It grows in water with no soil required, making it the cleanest, lowest maintenance desk plant in terms of the mess and weight that soil pots can create in a work environment. Change the water every 2 weeks, keep the vessel clean, provide indirect light, and Lucky Bamboo asks almost nothing else. Use filtered or distilled water if your tap water is heavily chlorinated, as the fluoride and chlorine in municipal water can cause leaf tip browning over time. The feng shui associations of Lucky Bamboo with prosperity, good fortune, and positive energy have made it a traditional gift for new offices, new business ventures, and workplace promotions across Asian cultures for generations. Whether or not those associations resonate with you, a well-kept Lucky Bamboo arrangement on a desk communicates a quality of attention and care that bare desks never achieve. Plant 10. Swiss Cheese Plant, the statement desk plant. Swiss cheese plant Monstera Deliciosa is the desk plant that makes the biggest visual statement from the smallest investment of care. Those iconic split and fenestrated leaves are immediately recognizable, immediately beautiful, and immediately communicate that whoever sits at this desk has taste and intention. A young monstera in a small pot fits comfortably on a desk corner and grows slowly enough in indoor conditions to remain desk appropriate for a year or more before it begins demanding a larger floor-level home. The care requirement is genuinely minimal for a plant of such dramatic visual impact. Water when the top inch of soil is dry, provide indirect light from a nearby window, and wipe the large leaves occasionally with a damp cloth to keep them glossy and dust-free. That wiping is not purely aesthetic. Dusty leaves photosynthesize less efficiently than clean ones, and a plant that cannot photosynthesize properly cannot provide the air quality and oxygen production benefits that make desk plants valuable in the first place. The conversation it starts is consistent and reliable. Every visitor to a desk with a monstera asks about it. It is the plant that makes your workspace memorable, that makes it feel curated rather than default, and that does it while requiring perhaps 5 minutes of attention per week. Plant 11. Asparagus Fern, the delicate cloud of green. Asparagus fern, Asparagus setaceus, is not a true fern at all, but a member of the asparagus family, and it produces some of the most delicate, feathery, cloud-like foliage of any small indoor plant. The tiny, flat, needle-like leaves arranged along arching stems create a soft, almost ethereal texture that provides a completely different visual quality from the bold structural plants elsewhere on this list. a softness and lightness that makes it one of the most calming desk plants available. It tolerates indoor light conditions well, grows at a manageable pace that keeps it desk-sized for extended periods, and the trailing growth habit of maturing plants creates an attractive overflow effect from a small pot that adds dimension and movement to a desk setting. Mist the foliage occasionally, particularly in dry office environments, to maintain the soft texture and prevent browning at the needle tips that dry air causes. For desks where the aesthetic priority is softness rather than structure, where the goal is a plant that feels gentle and calming rather than bold and architectural, Asparagus fern fills that role with a unique and genuinely beautiful quality that most more commonly recommended desk plants cannot replicate. Plant 12. ZZ plant. The indestructible desk survivor. ZZ plant, Zamioculcas zamiifolia, is the plant for people who are completely honest with themselves about how much attention they will actually give a desk plant during a busy working week. The answer for most people is very little. ZZ plant is fine with that. It is fine with low light. It is fine with infrequent watering. It is fine with being ignored for weeks at a time. It stores water in its thick rhizomes underground and draws on those reserves during periods of neglect with complete composure. The glossy, deep green leaves, arranged in neat pinnate fronds along upright stems, create an attractive, polished appearance that looks well maintained even when it has been completely forgotten for a fortnight. This combination of genuine toughness and consistently attractive appearance is precisely why ZZ plant has become one of the most popular office plants in commercial interiors worldwide. You see it in hotel lobbies, corporate reception areas, and office common spaces because facilities managers know it will stay attractive due to the irregular watering that busy environments produce. Water it thoroughly once every 2 to 3 weeks when the soil is completely dry. Give it any light from bright indirect to low office fluorescent. Walk away. Come back in 3 weeks and it will look exactly as it did when you left. This is the desk plant that will still be alive and looking good when all your other desk plants have been quietly replaced. Plant 13. Water lettuce. The floating desk conversation piece. Water lettuce, Pistia stratiotes, is the plant on this list that nobody expects and everybody reacts to. It is an aquatic floating plant that grows in a bowl of water with no soil, no pot, and no substrate of any kind. Those rosettes of soft, velvety, pale green leaves floating at the water surface create a miniature pond effect on a desk that is so unexpected in an office environment that it becomes an immediate and reliable conversation starter every single time a visitor sees it. Float water lettuce in any decorative bowl or vessel filled with water. Place a few polished stones in the bottom for visual interest and stability. Keep it in the brightest light your desk offers, as water lettuce is one of the more light-hungry plants on this list. Change the water every week or two to prevent stagnation and add a single drop of liquid aquatic plant fertilizer monthly to replace the nutrients that soil would otherwise provide. The roots that dangle beneath the rosettes in the water create their own visual interest, visible through the water column as a delicate white fringe beneath each floating rosette. It is the most unconventional plant on this list, and the one that most consistently generates the response that genuinely good desk plants should always produce. How did you think of that? And where can I get one? Plant 14. Chinese evergreen. The low-light color specialist. Chinese evergreen, Aglaonema, is the desk plant that solves the low-light office problem with more visual variety and more leaf color than any other plant, equally tolerant of dim conditions. The range of varieties available spans deep green with silver markings, red-edged cultivars, pink-splashed patterns, and bicolor combinations that make each variety its own distinct decorative statement. A collection of 2 or 3 different Aglaonema varieties in coordinating small pots creates a desk plant display of genuine sophistication that costs almost nothing to establish and maintain. It is among the most tolerant plants of the artificial fluorescent lighting conditions that characterize interior office environments away from windows. Where other plants become leggy, pale, and unhealthy under purely artificial light, Chinese evergreen maintains its compact form and its decorative leaf coloration. For desk positions away from natural light, it is one of the very few plants that genuinely thrives, rather than merely survives. Water every 10 days to 2 weeks. Keep away from cold air conditioning vents, which stress the tropical foliage, and enjoy a plant that is considered in Chinese tradition to bring good fortune to any space it inhabits. The tradition and the practicality align perfectly in this case. Plant 15, Cactus. The zero-effort desk statement. And we close the list with the plant that requires the absolute least from you of anything that could possibly sit on a desk and still be considered alive. Cactus. Any small cactus species in a well-draining pot in the brightest spot your desk offers will thrive on essentially nothing. Water it once a month in summer and once every 6 to 8 weeks in winter. Do not mist it. Do not fuss over it. Forget about it entirely for weeks at a time and return to find it exactly as you left it, because a cactus in a small desk pot is not stressed by your neglect. It is in its natural element. The variety of forms available in small cactus species is extraordinary. Columnar varieties growing as miniature towers, globular species sitting as perfect spheres in their pots, branching varieties creating tiny sculptural forms, flowering cacti that erupt in brilliantly colored blooms from seemingly nowhere. Each one is a piece of living sculpture that holds its form, its character, and its visual interest indefinitely with essentially zero maintenance input. For the desk of someone who travels frequently, who works irregular hours, who forgets everything including watering schedules, or who simply wants a living plant with zero guilt when life gets busy, Cactus is the honest, beautiful, completely reliable answer. It has survived in some of the harshest environments on Earth for millions of years. It will survive your desk. If this list just convinced you that your desk deserves at least one living plant on it before the end of this week, smash that like button right now and help this video reach every office worker sitting at a bare desk wondering why they feel so uninspired. Drop a comment and tell me which plant is going on your desk first. Are you going zero effort with a cactus or ZZ plant? Are you surprising your colleagues with floating water lettuce? I read every comment and I want to know what your workspace is about to look like. Subscribe and hit the bell because every week we make your home and workspace more beautiful, more alive, and genuinely better to be in. See you in the next one.